What's up, beautiful people? You just transported yourself into the Clay Space. The Clay Space is a safe space, not just for me, but for this community of listeners that I'm building. And I want to encourage you to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts and feelings in the comments. I want us to support each other. I want us to love on each other. I want us to get our points across. I want us to just really just express ourselves, and I want us to be able to be our most authentic selves, because I'm gonna be my most authentic self, and that's the goal for this podcast. And for y'all, this is our safe space again, so we have to protect it. We have to protect this safe space, and we have to protect each other, because we all we got at the end of the day. And as this things grow, there's going to be infiltration with some of the judges. We're going to shun them on out of here, because then we ain't having none of that negativity, man. Because at the end of the day, we all just trying to figure it out. And I feel like what better way is to have a sense of community where we support, help each other, and give each other encouragement and advice. And okay, last but not least, y'all, I curse. And sometimes I curse a lot. So if you're sensitive to profanity, fuck you. I'm just playing. Seriously though, if you are offended by profanity, this might not be the podcast for you. But if you could look past some of my choice words, I think you appreciate some of the things I have to say. And let's get on to the forum. So we pop off every single episode with something from the forum. And this essentially is when you guys comment and you have any questions for me, or you just have your ideas about a certain topic that we cover, I pick something from the forum and I'll just share it and expound on it. And this right here actually came from TikTok, because I had I posted a video on TikTok yesterday, and I was talking about the difference between judgment and discernment, at least in my eyes. And I said that because I don't really judge people like that. And it's like a gift and a curse, because I've let people in my life who don't have my best interests at heart because I didn't judge them. But then I realized it's not about judging people. It's about practicing discernment. So I really be practicing discernment out here, y'all. And it's the same thing, but it's a little different. At least in my eyes it is. So I was just expressing how being judgmental and being discerning is different to me. And somebody commented and he asked a really great question. So he was like, let's find it. He said, if one of your friends is sleeping with a married woman, do you cheer him on? And he also asked, is that seen as a form of judgment in my eyes? So first and foremost, I don't condone sleeping with married people unless you're in a poly or open relationship or something like that. You see what I'm saying? But that's another story for another time. But for your point, sir, I don't see that as a good thing. And I feel like friends are supposed to hold each other accountable. You know, me and my friend group, we hold each other accountable. Fellas, we got to start holding our boys accountable, because our homeboys be doing some fuck shit and we just be letting it slide. Like, oh, bro, that's what's up. Knowing that you don't feel like that shit was cool. And it's like, bro, we need to start holding our boys accountable, because we got to start changing the narrative out here. These women is destroying us, rightfully so, because we destroying them. And we got to be the change that we want to see. So with that, let's hold our boys accountable. So I don't see it as a form of judgment. I see it as holding your friend accountable, and that's what you're supposed to do. And at the end of the day, I can speak my mind. I speak my truth. Like, bro, I don't think that's right, but you a man, so you're gonna play how you feel at the end of the day, and it's your decision at the end of the day. You know, I respect your right to be able to exercise your free will, but that don't mean I gotta agree with what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And that don't mean that I have to allow that into my cipher. You know, most of my friends are married or in long-term relationships, so I don't necessarily have to deal with that. But there was a time that one of my friends was seeing this married woman, and, you know, I let him know my piece, but I didn't have to talk to him too much about it, because he wasn't with it himself. You know, he had just found out, because women be playing. Women some players out here too now. He found out, you know what I'm saying? And he had to put that thing to an end. But that's the kind of people that I be around. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that all my friends are holier than thou. Nah, man, we still trying to figure it out. But at the end of the day, we try to do what's right, man. And yeah, so nah, I don't condone that. I wouldn't condone that if one of my friends was doing that. I would hold him accountable for his actions. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to allow that in my cipher. If I have a friend and he's making a habit of doing that and he think it's cool, I can't allow you in my cipher, bro, because that's not what I'm on. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want you to try to hit at my wife. You know, I don't have a wife yet, but it's coming. It's coming. We're gonna speak it into existence, y'all. But nah, I don't need that. I don't need that in my life. So nah, out of here. You're gone. But then, also when it comes to the whole judgment thing, though, this is my thing on a lot of the major religions in the world speak against judgment, but they also encourage us to have discernment. You know what I'm saying? Because, and the reason why I say that, and they leave judgment to God. They leave judgment to God. Only God can judge us. We know that saying. We heard it so many times. People rapped about it so many times, sung about it so many times. But I feel like the reason we're supposed to leave the judgment to God is because we only know a small perspective of the whole story. So just imagine watching a movie and just judging a whole movie from just a little clip, a little blip of it. You know what I'm saying? And I think about the Avatar movies for those who are, seen Avatar, the big blue people. Like, what if the only perspective you had of that movie was the avatars just going in on those people, going in on the robots? And you be like, dang, boy, them people some savages, without you really knowing the full story. And the full story was they was defending their home from invaders. We don't know the full story, but God know the full story. So it's like, is it really our place to judge another person for being on their journey, trying to figure shit out the same way we trying to figure shit out? You don't, and this is my thing about judgment. I don't feel like you should judge people, but I feel like you should have discernment over them based on their actions, and then you decide whether or not you allow that into your cipher, into your space, into your life. And again, I'm gonna just keep it a buck. Like, we can't get away from judgment, even when it comes to discerning. Discerning in itself is judgment. The root of it is judgment. But like I said, I feel like the difference is we shouldn't place the judgment on people. What we should judge is whether or not we allow that particular person in our lives or not, based on their actions. So I hope I answered your question. I want to know what you guys think, man. I'm really curious about what's your ideas on judgment. What's your ideas on that? Have y'all ever experienced that? Like, do you have any friends who do certain things that you might not be fond of? How was your experience, like, holding them accountable if you did? I want to hear about that. I want to know about that. And if it's cool with you, we'll talk about it in the forum next time. So let's get into the meat and potatoes, y'all. Let's get into the meat and potatoes. Fuck the outcome. Fuck the outcome. Do it because you want to. I'm going to say it again. Fuck the outcome. Do it because you want to. My goal of doing this podcast is to have something that I do because I want to do it. I don't want to do this for the numbers. I don't want to do this for attention. I don't want to do this for money. I just want to do it because I want to, because I want to get my point across. And and this is a practice for me, because almost everything in my life is governed by numbers and the outcome of this and that. And that shit'll stress you out, man. That shit'll stress you out. That's how I am with most things in my life. I worry about the outcomes of things too much, way too much. And it takes away from me being in the present moment and just enjoying the journey, enjoying the process. So with this podcast, I want to practice that. I want to take it one episode at a time. I want to connect with those who are connecting with me. I'm not trying to be heard by the world with this. Whoever listens, I appreciate you. If you don't, it's okay. This is our space. I feel like that's the stem of like a lot of depression for people, is like when your ideas of something and your expectation of something doesn't meet the outcome, the actual outcome. I feel like that's the stem of a lot of people's depression out here in the world, if you really think about it. And I give you an example. I give two examples. I'm gonna give you a lightweight example, and I'm gonna give you a serious example. I put out an album. For those who don't know, I'm a music artist. Put out an album. It's called Be Good to You. I put this album out, and I felt so good about it. The message is on point. It's true and authentic to myself. I felt like I expressed myself really well on this project. And it's just a good product. It's just a good product. And I was talking to one of my engineer friends, Julian. Shout out to Julian. I'm just gonna say your name. I was talking to my friend Julian, and I'm like, bro, this album is going to change our lives, man. I feel like this is something special. And we put the album out, and it was met with great acclaim, and it made me feel good. But as time progressed, and I'm rolling out my marketing plan, I'm putting music videos out, I'm doing this, doing that, going on different podcasts, talking about it. I'm still working the shitty ass job that I hate. I'm still not making as much money as I want to be making. And I started to slip into a space of depression because I was saddened by the fact that this album didn't change my life like I thought it would. And it made me not appreciate the product as much as I should have. I started to stop appreciating the album. I started to stop working towards putting it out there because I just got so discouraged that, I put this great product out and essentially my life is the same. I'm still grinding, still trying to figure it out. And it made me really sad. And I had to go back and look at it because my expectation was when I put this project out, I'm talking about it's about to blow up. It's about to go viral. Everybody going to be talking about it. This, that, and the fourth. And it's going to change our lives, everyone's lives, because I don't just work for me. I work for the people I work with. A lot of people I work with want to do their role for a living. And I want that for them. And I know that I could be a good start for that. So I carry that on my shoulders with every move I make. So I really wanted that. And when it didn't happen, I got discouraged again. But I had to go back and I had to get perspective on the situation. Did it change our lives? It did. In a lot of different ways. Be Good to You gave me a philosophy to stand on. A philosophy and a practice to exercise in my life. Just the whole idea of being good to you is diverse. It goes for any and everybody. You know what it means to be good to you. And your being good to you is different than my being good to me. So it's like we all can be good to ourselves in different ways. And that's a very beautiful and powerful message. And I encourage y'all to be good to yourselves. Because at the end of the day, it starts with you. We got God. But after God, it's like all we got is us at the end of the day. It starts with you. If you ain't on point, nothing else going to be on point. So you got to be good to you. I was able to solidify that message. I was able to spread that message to people who didn't hear that concept. And that message was given to me by my Uncle Ricky. Shout out to you, Uncle Ricky. And it did change our lives. It gave us something to build upon. So a lot of people that worked on that project, they get to use it as a reference. Oh yeah, I mastered Clay songs on beat. Oh, you did that? That was you? Oh, I mixed Clay. Oh, you did that? That was you? Yeah. Yeah. And even for me, when it comes to certain opportunities. Oh man, that album was great, man. Can you help me do this? I like how you wrote it out. Can you? Now I have an opportunity to help other people roll out their projects and come up with marketing plans and stuff like that. So it did change my life. Just not the way I thought. And I give you another example. This one is a little more serious, and I'm sure some people out there can relate. I lost my grandma last year, and it hurt me. It hurt me for a lot of different reasons because I never met my mom's mom. I never met her. She died before I was born. I met her in my dream. She comes to me in my dream. I met her spiritually, but not physically. I didn't have a relationship with my dad's mom like that. And my mom's stepmom, Vivian, that was like the only grandma I really knew, besides my great grandma. But that lady loved me. That lady took care of me. Oh God, just thinking about it just made me want to tear up. And it bothers me because I love her so much. And I don't think I necessarily gave her the time that I should have given her while she was alive. Or even the flowers that she should have gotten while she was alive. Because I work a lot and I'm really focused on the things I'm doing. Someone asked me man, you doing so much at a high level. How you able to do it? Man, things suffer because of that. I put so much time and effort into my career that a lot of times I'm not the best son, not the best grandson. And my grandma was in the hospital, and it was really hitting me like, damn, I wish I'd have spent more time with her when I could have. Granted, there's been times when I wasn't living in Savannah, but I've been in Savannah most of my life. I could have just pulled up on her. I could have gave her a call more. And that lady loved me, man. And I love her. So she was in the hospital, and I'm praying. I'm like, God, please, just give her the strength to keep going. Give her the strength to keep going, because I just badly wanted to give her flowers. And she ended up passing. And I was hurt. I was hurt because I didn't have a chance to do what I should have done. That's why they always say to give people flowers while they could still smell them. I was on the other side of that, and I tell you, it ain't fun. I was also hurt because I wanted her to stay. My family wanted her to stay. But then I had the thought, what if she was ready to move on? What if she was ready to go to the other side? And we want this for her, but what if that's not what she wants? And I'm not going to lie, when that thought crept into my mind, it brought me a sense of peace. It brought me a sense of comfort, knowing that she is in a better place. Because I believe that, once we transition, we go back to God. And I felt a little selfish. I'm not going to lie. I felt selfish because it's like, how dare I, want someone to stay when they're ready to be free from pain, worry, stress, all the things that come with living in this realm. I judged the moment. And again, it's like I say, y'all, a lot of our stresses come from when we have these ideas, these expectations of how things should be, how they should go. And when they don't go the way we want it to go, when the outcome does not match our expectations, we judge the moment and we get upset with the moment. But I'm learning to take every day as it comes. I am learning to appreciate every single moment. And just to understand that we don't have the full picture right now. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate. You've been in a situation that was fucked up. But when you got through it and you was able to look back, you was able to appreciate it and see why that happened. Like, I see why it happened that way. That makes sense when you're able to look back. But God already knew what it was from the jump. And God don't put more on us than we could bear. Y'all are judging each other, judging these moments, and even worst of all, we judge ourselves. This is going to be like towards the end of the podcast, and I'm going to end every single episode with reading of the scripture of Clay. Let me stop. So again, y'all, I make music, and I'm one of those artists that I really talk about my life. I really talk about how I feel. So I've expressed a wide range of emotions through my catalog. So anything I could talk about on this podcast, I got a lyric to support it. So this supporting lyric come from the song Get Away From, featuring Halftime and Aspen Martin, they're my guys right there. And this song right here is me really going hard on myself, because I judge myself hard, y'all. Hard. And I'm sure a lot of y'all do the same. And the thing is, we have to learn how to have grace for ourselves. Grace is so important, y'all. And this song is essentially me going through my process of learning to have grace with myself. And this line is the turning point in the song, because I literally go in on myself the whole song. But this line is the turning point. I say, I wish I could love you. I wish I could hug you. Wish I ain't judge you. Wish I ain't grudge you. You could fly like them doves do. but that's what them drugs do. I'm gonna say it again, y'all. I wish I could love you. I wish I could hug you. I wish I ain't judge you. Wish I ain't grudge you. You could fly like them doves do, but that's what them drugs do. And drugs don't always gotta be. Drugs could be food. Drugs could be a thought pattern. Drugs could be people. Drugs could be anything that distracts you from your purpose and what you really supposed to be doing in your life. Anything that distracts you from having clear vision for the direction and purpose that God placed and gave upon you for your life. That's what them drugs do. Y'all, I appreciate y'all for listening to this first episode of Clay Space. And again, y'all, this is our safe space. I encourage you guys to subscribe, like, comment your thoughts and opinions. I want to know what you think about any and everything that's been said in this podcast. Again, we're going to pull from the forum. I'm going to answer any questions you guys might have for me. And y'all remember, this is a judgment-free zone. We're here to love on each other and support each other. This is why I'm doing this. I want to create a space for us. And here it is, y'all. And I'm going to vibe out. We going to vibe out to get away from, for those who want to. And if not, thank you just for listening. And it's all love, y'all. And until next time, peace.
Yeah. Back up in this thing like a lust song. You a genius, you can run with the best on. But you lazy, my nigga. You claim you work hard, but your efforts won't help you reach greatness, my nigga. You play on my nigga. You bitching on Netflix instead of investing that time in your business. Your mind is in prison. You just like them niggas. You claim that you different, but you really ain't. You claim that made difference, but you really can't. You say that you love me, but you really hate me. And I hate you too. Sometimes I wish that I ain't you too. Sometimes I wish I could shank you too till the pain went through. Sometimes I wish I could hang with noose and bang bang shoot. Sometimes I fuck. I wish I could love you. I wish I could hug you. I wish I ain't judge you. Wish I ain't grudge you. You can fly like them doves do, but that's what them drugs do. It's hard to be good to you. It's hard to be good to you. It's hard to be good to you. Cause when I try, I'm reminded what I shouldn't do. All the things that I try, all the pain that's inside that you ain't gotta hide. It's okay, let it fly. You a king, you and I. It's okay if you grasp your wings, you can fly. Ain't no thanks to a giant. I love you. I really mean it. Together, we could conquer all of our demons. Get away.